Today I'm going to be watching this video. It's called 12 Polish Phrases that British people find hilarious. Polish idioms and expressions you have to hear. So I'm from Britain, I'm British. I'm really interested to know if I'll find these hilarious. I know no Polish, I know no Polish phrases, so not only will this be good to see if I find it hilarious, but it's good just to learn more about the Polish language. And yeah, you can tell me how commonly these phrases are used. Do you use these phrases? Let's listen to this in
12 Polish phrases that British people find hilarious. When dogs bark by their asses, gdzie psy dupami szczekają. A Polish way to say in the middle of nowhere.
Okay, that is quite funny. When dogs bark by their asses. A Polish way to say in the middle of nowhere. I didn't think, reading it in the English version, that's what it would have meant. In the UK we say something like he's talking out of his ass. It means like when someone's saying something that's not true. I thought it might have a similar meaning to that, but a Polish way to say in the middle of nowhere. I don't get how it relates, but you can maybe tell me more about that, why it means that, and tell me definitely, is that something you've used before?
I was made into a horse. Zrobili mnie w konia. Someone has made you look like a fool by tricking or deceiving you in some way.
Okay.
A similar English saying is, I was taken for a ride.
Yeah, that's true actually. So it's like, yeah, tricked or deceived in some way. Yeah, we say I was taken for a ride. I mean, that has similar connotations to I was made into a horse. I guess you can ride a horse, but I was made into a horse. So I guess they're saying like horses are foolish in a way. But yeah, tell me again if you use that one. The thing with Polish is, I find that even though it uses Latin characters, the Latin alphabet, I find it's like one of the hardest languages for me to read. Like zrobili mnie w konia. It's a very interesting language. I definitely want to learn more about it, but it seems difficult.
Similar English saying is wypchaj się.
Okay, go
away, get lost. I don't want to talk to you, leave me alone.
Okay, I can see that would be a very commonly used one if you're upset with someone. I mentioned on another video, the Polish people I've met are very straightforward, to the point. I can imagine that's something that would be commonly said. Yeah, again with the Polish language, tell me how you pronounce something like this letter. But go stuff yourself with się.
Roll with butter. Bułka z masłem. This means that a task or situation is simple, easy. A similar English phrase is piece of cake.
That's true. And it's funny that even though they like have a similar meaning, we've used two different types of food. A roll with butter, I can see that actually like when you're talking about the meaning of this means a task or situation that is simple. I feel like actually a roll with butter is a better description than a piece of cake, because a roll with butter is just a very simple thing, whereas a piece of cake, it doesn't really relate to that. So actually I quite like that Polish one. Bułka z masłem.
Bear's favor. Niedźwiedzia przysługa. The phrase refers to a favor which, when granted, ends up being more trouble than it was worth.
That's actually, I like that one as well. Again, I don't know why it relates to bear, but it refers to a favor which, when granted, ends up with more trouble than it's worth. I mean, that's definitely a situation I guess a lot of people would be in. Interesting to note that Poland has its own saying for that. I don't really know any similar one in English.
Don't call the wolf from the forest. Nie wywołuj wilka z lasu. Don't tempt fate. A similar English phrase is let sleeping dogs lie.
That's true as well actually. Yeah, very interesting that again there's similarities in taking this thing, don't tempt fate, but we both use animals to describe that situation. But yeah, maybe like bears and wolves are more common in Poland? Are those animals that you find in the wild in Poland? I never knew there was bears in Poland, actually. Wolves, I can imagine. Yeah, don't call the wolf from the forest. Okay. Cool.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. Nie mój cyrk, nie moje małpy. This is not my problem. Similar to not my house, not my rules. Your hands are clean and you had nothing to do with it.
Your hands are clean. I've actually never heard those English sayings before. This is not my problem. It's not my circus. It's not my monkeys. Nie moje cirk, nie moje małpy. Okay, man. Again, I would just say this is not my problem. Those English ones I wouldn't actually use.
Once in a Russian year. Raz na ruski rok. Referring to something that hardly happens or that basically never happens. An English equivalent is once in a blue moon.
Yeah, that's true, yeah. Again, once in a blue moon. I have said that one before. Once in a Russian year. What is a Russian year? Raz na ruski rok. Referring to something that hardly happens, that basically never happens. Yeah, so how does that relate to a Russian year? Does a Russian year never happen? Tell me what you think about Russia being Poland as well. I'd love to know your opinions. Raz na ruski rok.
Make bigos. Narobić bigosu. To make a big mess of a situation. Bigos is a Polish stew with just about every kind of meat or vegetable thrown in. The English equivalent is, you really made a mess out of this.
Yeah, we would just say I mean, the English equivalent is not really an idiom, it's just you really made a mess out of it. It's just describing the situation. But bigos, I've said on previous videos I want to know more about Polish food. But a stew that has every kind of meat or vegetable thrown in, that just sounds good to me. And Polish food, from what I've learned, is very hearty. In my style of food, really. Narobić bigosu.
Don't teach a father how to make children. Nie ucz ojca robić dzieci. The English version is actually as bizarre as Polish. Don't teach your grandmother how to suck eggs. It is nothing more than advice given to a person that is unnecessary as they already know it. Probably they even have more knowledge about the topic than the person giving the advice.
That's true, yeah. So don't teach your father how to make children. I don't find the Polish one there, don't teach your father how to make children. That is a perfect way to describe that. Because it's very, again, straight to the point. The father knows how to make children, so it's like, don't try to teach someone what they already know. The English one, don't teach your grandmother how to suck eggs. I have never said that. I know of it. Even me being British and speaking English, I don't even know what that means. I hope my grandmother has never sucked eggs, man.
Thinking of blue almonds. Myśleć o niebieskich migdałach. A rather sweet way of saying that you drifted off into a daydream. To speak straight from the bridge. Mówić prosto z mostu. Telling it like it is. Just straight up speaking the truth.
Yeah, and I think that from what I've learned so far, that's something that Polish people do, is they definitely just speak the truth. Very honest people to speak straight from the bridge. Okay, yeah, I'm not too sure why that would relate. Mówić prosto z mostu. Yeah, so interesting. Again, what I like about this, although some of them are funny, some of them are interesting, I'm enjoying learning more about the Polish language itself, hearing how it sounds. Yeah, again, as I said, tell me if you've used those before. Tell me how commonly they are used. Tell me some more other interesting phrases that are not on that list as well. And yeah, tell me what you think about my Polish pronunciation. Is it just terrible or not? Thanks for watching.